Hello, my dear students. Please subscribe our YouTube channel for more free video lectures and click on bell button for notifications and visit our website to purchase full course.
Hello students, welcome to the session. Today we are going to talk about, in this session we are going to talk about the introduction to geometry design only, extension of that. Now, in the last session we have discussed about let me write the topic first, introduction to geometric design. Of course, transportation engineering subject. Yeah, so in the last session we have seen the basics of camber or a cross slope, the formulas for it, and the shapes of camber like parabolic camber, straight line camber, right? And the table which talks about the values that are to be provided for camber. So height of crown is W by 2n, and parabolic camber equation is y is equal to 2x square by nw, right? So based on this concepts, let us do some problems from the workbook. So the first question in the workbook talks about these problems. A road of width 3.5 meters is to be laid. Calculate the maximum height of crown with respect to edges with a straight line camber for a village CC road of light rainfall region. So the width of the road is 3.5 meters. Let me draw a diagram. The width of the road is 3.5 meters, right? Calculate the maximum height of crown with respect to edges if a straight line camber. So he has mentioned that it is a straight line camber, and the maximum height of the crown with respect to edges. Edges are at this particular height, and this is my crown. So I need to calculate the height of crown, and additionally he has given that this is a village road which is made of cement concrete, and the region is of light rainfall region, right? So that is the data given here. So the thing that is to be taken care here is CC road and light rainfall region. Does this term village road has any influence on our problem? No, it has got no impact in our problem. It doesn't matter whether it is a national highway, state highway, expressway, MDR, ODR, village road, artificial road, whatever it is, we are nothing to do with this. So only thing is for CC road and light fall region. So CC road is in the first type, and light rainfall. So please look at the back pages of your notes. Please look at the table which is given during the discussion and tell me the value of camber that is to be considered. For a village CC road, Chodo village, remove that village. For a CC road of light rainfall region, the camber to be taken is how much? Tell me from the table. The camber to be taken is 1.7%, right or not? And I am not concerned about the percentages in the problems, right? As I said, in the problems, we require camber in 1 in n format. So 100 by 1.7, approximately 60. So 1 in 60 is the camber for a village CC road of light rainfall region. And now he has asked us me to calculate the height of crown. So height of crown for a CC road is equal to W by 2N. And generally, this height of crown will be lesser compared to the width. So it will be in centimeters. So I take, and your options are in mm here. Okay. So options is in mm here. So I will take this width also in mm. Width of the road is 3.5 meters. 3.5 meters, but I need to convert into mm. So I will multiply it with 1000 divided by 2 into n. N value 1 in n, 1 in 60. So n value for this data is 60. So if you calculate that, that comes as 29.2 mm, which is given in the option B, right? Very simple and easy one. Let's take it down. This is the first problem, right? First problem in workbook. Yeah. Now let us do the second one. A road of width 7 meters is to be laid. So I'm drawing the figure. A road of width 7 meters is to be laid. Calculate the maximum height of the crown with respect to edges of a parabolic camber. So I'm drawing the shape of a parabola. So a parabolic camber, and I need to calculate the height of crown here. So this is my crown. So I need to calculate the height of crown for an MDR road, major district road, with thin bituminous surface and heavy rainfall region. So again, look back to your table during the discussion. For a thin bituminous surface of heavy rainfall region. Thin bituminous surface is in the second type of surface and heavy rainfall region. So for this combination, 1.7, 2, and here it is the answer for us, 2.5%. So the camber here is 2.5%. Right or not? From the table you can get it, right? And 2.5%, if you convert into 1 in n format, it is 100 by 2.5 is 40. So 1 in n is nothing but 1 in 40. So this is a parabola here. So I'll be using the equation for parabola. Y is equal to 2x square by nw. Y is equal to 2x square by nw. So I want the height of crown. So I want the height of this parabolic shape at a distance of x by 2. At a distance of x by 2. Sorry, at a distance of w by 2. So my x is w by 2, right or not? My crown for the parabolic camber will be half the width of the road. So x is w by 2. So, and here my options are in mm. So I take the values also in the mm. So y is equal to 2 into X is W by 2, X is say 7 meters, X is 7 meters here, so X is 7 meters, so 7,000 by 2 whole square divided by N. N from this we got N as 40. From this we got N as 40. So W is 7,000 meters. So 2 into 7,000 square divided by 2 square is 4 into 40 into 7,000. So this 7,000 and 7,000 gets cancelled. So this is 2 times. So it is 700 by 8. 1, 0 and 0 get cancelled, right? So it is 700 by 8. Whatever comes, you can calculate, right? So you can note it down. So if you calculate this, it comes as 87.5 mm. So that is the height of crown here, 87.5 mm. Right? Yeah. Let's do the next problem on this. So read the question number 3. If the difference in elevation between the edges of pavement of width 9 meters and its crown is 7.5 centimeters. So if the difference in elevations between the edges of pavement of width 9 meters and its elevation is 7.5 centimeters. And he has mentioned that what is the camber for CC payment. So he has talked about CC payment. So by default, if nothing is given, by default, CC payment means straight line camber, right or not? Which I have already said during the theory part. So I have drawn a straight line camber, and he has given that the difference in elevation between the edges of pavement of width 9 meters and its crown is 7.5 centimeters. 7.5 centimeters, and we need to calculate the camber here, right? So simple one. The only thing to be known is by default CC payment means a straight line camber, right? So what is that 7.5 centimeters? He has given this 7.5 centimeters is nothing but height of crown, which is equal to W by 2N. So 7.5 centimeters, here it is in centimeters, so I take W also in centimeters. So it is 900 centimeters divided by 2 into N. So N is equal to 900 by 2 into 7.5, which if you calculate, it comes as 60. So the camber 1 in N is nothing but 1 in 60, and 1 in 60 is simply 1.7%. So camber is 1.6%, 1.7%, or 1 in 60. 1 in 60, right? So this is how we calculate the cambers. You can note it down. Yeah, I hope you are done with this. So that's about the camber and the problems related to camber. Now we'll be seeing the simple geometrical standards and specifications that are to be maintained for our roads. You can say that as standards because based on those things only the design will be there. The first element is width of carriageway. Width of carriageway. First of all, what is a carriageway? It's a very simple term, carriage plus way. The way over which the vehicles are being carried is called as carriageway. Carriage plus way, right? So the way or the path over which the vehicles are being carried, the vehicles are being moved is called as a carriageway. And what should be the width of carriageway? How much width should I provide for the vehicles to move on? That is called as width of carriageway. Now, how much should I provide? This much, or this much? What are the factors which is influencing that? Simple. Width of carriageway is equal to number of lanes into lane width. Number of lanes into lane width. 1 lane road, 2 lane road, 3 lane road, 4 lane road, 6 lane road, 8 lane road, we call it, right? So number of lanes into lane width. Now what is the lane width? What are the factors which affect the lane width? How much should be the width of a single lane road? Obviously, that depends on the type of vehicles move, right? And generally, if you take a vehicle, it is the width of the vehicle, right? The maximum width of the vehicle, as per IRC, which are to be moved in India. Means if a vehicle has to be moved on the Indian roads, then the maximum width of the vehicle as per IRC should not be more than 2.44 meters. So it is 2.44 meters plus some clearance on both the sides. Both the sides. Right? So for a single lane road, the width of single lane road is 3.75 meters. 3.75 meters. So again, most of the people will say it wrongly. They call it as 3.5 meters. No, width of a single lane road is always 3.75 meters only. Now, what is that 3.5? If more number of lanes are there, then it is multiples of 3.5. Means if a 2-lane road is there, it is 2 into 3.5, 7 meters. Similarly, if a 3-lane road is there, it is 3 into 3.5, it is 10.5 meters. So if n number of lanes are there, number of lanes into lane width, number of lanes into lane width. That is how you will get the total width of the road. Number of lanes into lane width. And if anybody asks you width of a single lane road, then it is 3.75 meters. Now, there are some types of roads for which are more than 3.75 and are lesser than 2 lane. They are called as intermediate lanes. Intermediate lanes. Wherever the width of the road available is more than single lane and less than 7 meters, that is 2-lane road, we go for intermediate lanes. And width of an intermediate lane is 5.5 meters. Width of an intermediate lane is 5.5 meters. Now there is one more term called width of a 2-lane road with curbs. Then it is 7 plus 0.5, that is 7.5 meter. Now what is a curb? What is a curb? Curb is the vertical clearance between roadway and the footpath. So this is the roadway and this is the footpath. So the vertical differentiation between the road and the footpath is called as curb. Why is it needed? What is the necessity of curb? If you don't provide curb, what happens? Footpath will be of the same level with the roadway. And people start coming onto the footpath also. And if that happens, pedestrians can't move. Pedestrians can't travel, right? So to restrict the usage of this space from the vehicles, we provide curb. It is a vertical differentiation. Now, if the curb is existing, what happens? Will you travel closer towards the curb? No, right? We maintain some gap. We maintain some distance from the curb. And that is why if you maintain a curb, if you provide a curb, you will be moving a bit farther from the curb. That is why an extra clearance of 0.5 meters is provided if there is a curb, because some place over here will not be used by the vehicles as a clearance distance, as a safety criteria. So if they ask you the width of a 2-lane road, including curbs, it is 7 plus 0.5, that is 7.5 meters. So that is how we find the width of carriageway. And there are some other terms called as curbs. Or we have already seen what is a curb, but there are different types of curbs like low or mountable curbs, semi-mountable or semi-barrier type of curbs, and the last one is barrier type of curbs. So these are the different types of curbs: low or mountable, semi-mountable or semi-barrier, and barrier type curbs. Now the name itself says low or mountable curb means your vehicle can easily mount it. Your vehicle can easily come onto the footpaths, right? Low or mountable. And generally, if the height is in between 10 to 15 centimeters, then it is called as a low or a mountable curb. Your vehicle can easily climb that. And if the height is more than 15 centimeters, it you can climb it with a little difficulty. So it is called as semi-mountable or semi-barrier type. And barrier type means height more than 20 centimeters can be called as barrier type of curve. Can be called as barrier type of the curve, right? And generally we should provide barrier type only. Vehicles should not come onto the curbs. Sorry, vehicles should not come onto the footpaths, right? So that's about the curbs, nothing special. Now, median. It is also called as divider. It is also called as traffic separator. Now, what is the purpose of median? It divides the traffic. Why you should divide the traffic? To eliminate accidents. What type of accident? Will it reduce or will it eliminate it completely? Yeah. So we have different types of accidents, like many types of accidents are there, but these are the major types. Head-on collision, rear-end collision, right-angle collision, and siding or swiping or brushing. Now, if the head and head of two vehicles collide, it is called as an head-on collision. So if you are moving in this way and somebody comes and hits from the opposite side, it is called as an head-on collision. Now you are moving in this fashion and somebody comes and hits you in the back, it is called as a rear-end collision. Now you are moving in this way and somebody hits in this fashion, it is called as right angle collision. This is a right angle collision, right? Now you will be moving in this fashion, some other guy comes slowly, small scratch and moves away. So it can be called as siding, brushing or swiping. Generally this happens mostly in the cities. Two vehicles will be approaching towards them, a small crash will be there and just deviate. Now, these are the major types of accidents. Among these four types, if you provide some proper measures which can be completely eliminated, which type of collision can be completely removed, just think and say me. Yes, you can completely eliminate head-on collision by providing median or a divider or a traffic separator. And you can completely eliminate right angle collision, by providing what? Signals. Generally right angle collision. This type of accidents happens at the signals, intersections only, right? So if you provide proper signals and if everybody follows the rules, of course, you can completely eliminate right angle collision. Now, our main concern here is about the median or a divider or a traffic separator. So the purpose of median or divider or traffic separator is to completely eliminate head-on collision. What is the other purpose of median? Yes, there is one more purpose of providing a median or a separator. Now, during night times, most of us have faced this problem, especially in the highways. There will be an effect of glare from the opposite directions, right? During the night time. Research says that in order to eliminate the effect of glare, during the night time from the opposite vehicles, there should be a difference of 15 meters. If the difference between both the sides, from the opposite sides and this side is 15 meters or more than that, then only effect of glare will not be there. But is it possible to provide a difference of 15 meters? You can't provide, right? Our roads themselves are not more than 15 meters in most of the cases. So it is not possible to differentiate both the roads by 15 meters. So what we do is we plant trees in the median so that the trees will be obstructing the light rays. So your glare effect will be decreased. So the other purpose of is to plant trees on the medians to decrease the effect of glare. Right? Now finally about the medians, how much should I provide? What should be the width of the median? The width of the median should be 5 meters in case of rural highways, and you can limit it to 1.2 meters in case of long bridges and urban areas. So that is the minimum values of widths for median as per IRC, right? Now we can note it down, these two things. Yeah, I hope you have noted down. So the next element that exists on the road is shoulder. What is a shoulder? Not this one, huh? Shoulder. Yeah, you can compare though. So if this is the road, the adjacent parts will be the shoulder, right? The extra place what we provide beside the roads is called as shoulders. Extra place beside the carriageway is called as a shoulder. Now, why we should provide that shoulder? Why we should provide that extra place? What is the reason for it? Yes, it provides, it is the only purpose, it is the only purpose. It provides place for the emergency breakdown of vehicles. Emergency breakdown of vehicles. It provides place for the emergency breakdown of vehicles. So when you're traveling on a highway or any road, if your vehicle gets breakdown due to any reason, then you can stop that vehicle and park it in the extra place. That is the only purpose of shoulder, but people start using overtaking also. We should not do it, right? It is the only purpose of providing a shoulder. Now, what should be the width of the shoulder? Again, common sense. As I said that you should be able to park your vehicle on the roads, on the shoulders. So it should be able to take one vehicle, right? So what is the width of one vehicle? 2.44 meters, which I've already shown, which I've already discussed. So at least width of the shoulder should be 2.5 meters. So as per IRC, the minimum width of the shoulder, the minimum width of shoulder should be 2.5 meters. What should be the strength of the shoulder? Should we construct our shoulders as of same quality with our road? No. We should differentiate our shoulder material with the main road surface. Though we have money, though we have resources, though we have labor. Reason is, if you construct the shoulder with the same quality as of road, then people start using shoulders. Vehicles will be moving on the shoulders. So that is why we wantedly decrease the quality of shoulder. And generally we provide earthen material, earthen surface. So what should be its strength? The minimum strength of the shoulder should be such that it should withstand a fully loaded truck during the peak monsoon season also, right? It should withstand, it should be able to withstand a fully loaded truck during monsoon season, peak monsoon season. This we have seen in many of the roads in our day-to-day life. In the peak monsoon seasons, generally, if heavy in the sides of the roads, if any heavy vehicle is moving, sometimes the wheels of the heavy vehicles gets undergoes, right? So that is why it should have some minimum strength to withstand that, right? That's about the shoulder. Next, cycle lane. So it is common sense that if you provide a road, if you provide a lane, especially for the movement of cycles, it can be called as a cycle lane, nothing special. Now what they ask is, what is the width of a single lane? Width of cycle lane. For one lane, it is 2 meters. And thereafter, for any additional lane, you add 1 meter. For any additional lane, you simply add 1 meter. So for 2 lane, it is 2 plus 1, 3 meters. For 3 lane road, for 3 lane cycle road, it is 3 plus 1, 4 meters. Right? So that is how we say the width of cycle zone. If they ask you width of a single cycle lane width, single lane for a cycle is 2 meters. 2 lane, it is 2 plus 1, 3 meters. 3 lane, it is 3 plus 1, 4 meters. Right? So that is how we find the width of cycle lane. Next one is guardrails. This guardrails are nothing but the safety things or the safety barricades that we provide along the sides of the road. Where we should provide this? Obviously in the hilly areas we provide, towards the valley side, and if your embankment, if your road surface is having a higher width, means if the embankment height is more than 3 meters, then also we should provide a barricades. Barricades are nothing but guardrails, so that if any vehicle loses its control, that guardrails will stop from falling off that vehicle from the height. And lastly, footpaths. And this is also everybody knows. Footpaths are nothing but the paths, the movement, the paths which are provided for the movement of pedestrians, footpaths. And generally footpaths are designed for minimum of 2 persons to walk at a time. Generally, footpaths are designed for a minimum of 2 persons to walk at a time. So if you take a particular person, the widest part in a person will be at the shoulder. This is the widest part, right? So 2 persons are there. So I said that a footpath is to be designed for 2 persons to walk at a time. So this is my first person, this is the second person. And if you take a shoulder, the width of the shoulder will be around 60 centimeters for a maximum value. So 60 centimeters, that is 0.6 meter and 0.6 meter. And there is a clearance of 0.3 meters. So total is 1.5 meter. So the minimum length of footpath is 1.5 meter. 2 persons to walk at a time. So 2 persons with 60 centimeters and 30 centimeters clearance. So 60 plus 60 is 120. 120 plus 30 is 150. 150 centimeters is nothing but 1.5 meters. But that is the minimum length. And as the number of pedestrians increases, you should increase the width. And similarly, one-way movement and two-way movement also matters. If two-way movement is there, then there will be more obstructions, so it should even increase, or the capacity of the footpath decreases if there is a two-way movement. So there is a given, the IRC has given a table for finding or fixing the width of the footpath. So it has got pedestrian traffic instead of vehicular traffic because pedestrians are meant for footpaths. Pedestrian traffic. Now this pedestrian traffic can be one way or it can be two-way, means from both the sides. So footpath width can be 1.5 meter, 2 meter, 2.5 meter, 3 meter, or it can be 4 meter. Now you should provide the pedestrian width based on these numbers. For example, it is 1200, 2400, multiples of 1200 you can say. Next one is 3600. Next multiple is 4800. Similarly, here it is the multiples of 800. So it is 800, 1600, 2400 and 3200. Right? So here you have 5 values, right? So fourth value will be 4800 plus 1200 is say 6000. And here it would be 3200 plus 800 is 4000. Right? So based on the pedestrian volumes, if two-way traffic is there, if both movement is there, for 1.5 meters, it can accommodate 1200 pedestrians per hour, pedestrian traffic per hour, right? Pedestrian traffic per hour. Similarly, if two-way movement is there, it is only 800. If one way, means obstructions will be lesser, only one-way movement, either this way or this way. So capacity increases to 1200. So that is how we decide the pedestrian width, that is footpath width. And there is one more point here called as CBD areas. CBD areas, Central Business District. Means there will be some places in regions where the population is very much higher, where that is a fully developed place occupied with many people, occupied with many pedestrians, street vendors, right? Yeah, for example, take a shopping area. People come to the shopping area generally by walking only, right? So in those kinds of areas, in those kinds of regions, are called as CBD areas, and in those kinds of regions, footpath width is to be increased by 1 meter. So wherever a CBD area is there, you can increase the footpath width by 1 meter. So that's about the shoulder, cycle lane, guardrails, and footpaths, right? You can note it down.